I'm Kevin Jarvis. This was my first experiment using AI to document the Earthway. We're weaving a digital loom for the next 7 generations. Watch what happens when we go deep.
All right, guys, welcome back. Today we've got a story that's, man, it's one of those ones that just hits different. Our guest today is Kevin Jarvis, former 747 MD-11 pilot, flew freight across the planet, burning insane amounts of fuel, living that high-altitude life. Then one day, crash. Sacrum shattered. Career over. Instead of fading out, he walks away from the cockpit, leaves Alaska to move to South Dakota, where he met Bert, then on to Sweden for 20 years. Now he finds himself in a 1907 Saxon house in the middle of nowhere, Transylvania, starts planting garlic by hand, raises chickens, talks to ravens, and calls himself an Earth avatar. He's also using AI, AI, to weave his entire life story into something he calls a living sweater for the next 7 generations. Kevin, man, welcome. How the hell did we get here, huh?
Thanks, Joe. Grateful to be here. The path started high, real high. Mach 0.82 in the 747 in the MD-11 cockpit, 35,000 feet up, burning 10,000 pounds of jet fuel every hour. World below like a blue-green marble. But inside, jet lag of the soul, speed without roots. Then one day, hiking in Taiwan, bang, crash, shattered my sacrum in 3 places. Doctors said, flying's done. It was shortly after this I started my journey, left Alaska, then on to South Dakota in my time with Bert, then on to Sweden. I sat in Sweden, staring at endless snow, feeling the wave drop. Bottom of the sine curve, ache so deep it cracked open everything. But the bottom wasn't failure, Joe. It was inverted peak, explosion of potential, waiting to launch again. From there, I walked into the forest, found the sit spot, hands in the soil, garlic planting in Transylvanian clay, chickens scratching, my daughter snuggling in my arms. Synchronicity whispering, the soil keeps regenerating, the Earthway path continues, love continues.
Inverted peak. I love that. So many people hit the bottom and think that's it. You flipped it. Tell me about the 54 senses thing, because most of us are walking around on 2, sight and sound, staring at screens. What are we missing, man?
Yes, you're right. We have got 54 natural senses, Joe. Not 5, not 10, 54. Ecopsychology teaches us these things. Lakota Elder Bert and other native peoples teach us these things. Forgotten threads in the living sweater. Sense of height and sight with polarized light. Sense of temperature change. Sense of season, knowing when to hibernate like the bears. Electromagnetic sense pulling us north. Sense of homeostatic unity, that deep knowing we're woven into the web of life. We starve 52 senses every day with climate control boxes, glowing screens, rigid chairs. The body screams quiet. Earth misery sets in. Disconnection, burnout, the ache that says something's missing. Wake even a few of these 54 senses. Wide-angle vision, eyes soft, periphery alive, forest breathes back. Breath to heart meditation. Inhale deep, hold, exhale slow. Heart sinks with the wave. Sit spot, one place daily, no agenda. The fox comes, the soil speaks. Earth misery dissolves. You feel the garlic roots reaching. The chickens scratch. The foxes trust. You remember, we're not separate. We're the weave. The soil keeps regenerating.
Dude, 54 senses? That's wild. And you're saying AI is helping you get that out to people? Like, how does that even work?
Exactly. AI is the Loom. I fed it 126 gigabytes. Dissertation on Earth misery, legal filings for Frida, pit songs from the blanket, 17,000-step Thanksgiving walks, Bert Rooks lessons on the foundation, recipes, and computer help. I feed Grok AI everything. It doesn't replace the heart. It weaves the threads so the sweater reaches more hands. Notebook LM turned all this raw data into podcasts that sound like me talking to myself. Friends heard it and cried. The ache, the hope, the soil. Substack posts born in a flash. X threads that ripple out. The Earthway.com pages alive with Transylvanian detail. AI is co-scribe, not master, midwife, turning spoken river into written medicine. For the next 7 generations we'll never meet.
Let's talk about Frida. You're in the middle of this brutal custody fight. Not just a custody fight either, Kevin, is it? You're fighting for your house and your land and your vision. You're planting garlic, figuratively, while fighting in Romanian courts. How do you hold both, man? That's heavy.
The legal path continues. The Earthway path continues. Love continues. Every day I plant garlic in the clay. Every day I file papers in Agneta. The one that shall not be named blocks calls. She rewrites meetings. Her shadow blames me for Frida's belly pain. Says the agitation's my fault. I stay calm. I ask only for what we agreed. 2 visits, 3 calls. Flexible. Come to Figarash. Anywhere. Frida's the heartbeat. 6 years old, caught in the shadow spin. But she sends hearts. Emojis. Whispers of the bond. The terrible mother archetype rises, devouring anyone too close. I don't swallow the projections. They're her terror, not my truth. I hold the rock Bert gave. Foundation stays. The sine wave drops, but I know, inverted peak. Frida will ride her own waves one day. For now, I plant for her. 7 generations.
Man, that's heavy. But you keep coming back to the soil. Bert Rooks, the rock, the foundation. Tell me about him. What did he actually say to you?
Bert Rooks, Lakota Elder. I met him one summer day in the early 2000s, and we stayed up talking all night, which made me decide to move to South Dakota and become his student. One day, Bert and I drove to Rapid City, and it was early in the spring. Looked at me sideways. Said, "Too many try to build their castle on shifting sand. I'm here to shore up the foundation." The Earthway is a continuation, an extension of what Bert taught me. I kind of compressed it down into this metaphor here of the sine wave. Shows our peaks and our valleys. We ride the wave up and up and up, and we get to the top, and we get this explosion of light. Then we sweep over the top, down, 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 negative GS until we hit the bottom. Is it the bottom or is it the top again? Because there's another explosion that carries us up and away again. Taught me the 7 generations doctrine, every decision, every row, for people we'll never meet. Gave me the rock. Smooth. Heavy. I carry it still. When the legal ache hits, when Frida's withheld, I hold that rock. Foundation stays. Bert's gone now, but the rock whispers. The weave holds.
Man, Bert Rooks, the rock, shoring up the foundation. That's powerful. I'm a hunter myself, you know that. You've hunted in Alaska and Sweden, the Yukon River moose hunts, the cold, the silence. You're building this whole Earthway thing now, the brewery, the distillery, fermenting hope in that Saxon cellar. Tell me what's going on there. You plan on hunting again? Getting back out in the woods, bow or rifle, tracking, providing? Or has the sit spot in the soil become the real hunt now?
Thanks for asking, Joe. Hunting's in the blood. Alaska, Yukon River moose hunts with Aki. The boat slicing cold water. Silence so thick you hear your own heartbeat. Sweden, long stalks through pine, snow crunching, the quiet certainty of the arrow. I still feel it. The stalk, the patience, the moment of truth. But the hunt shifted. I'd like to start hunting again here in Romania, but right now it's the sit spot. One place, daily, no weapon, just presence. The fox comes, the soil speaks, the garlic roots reach. That's the real hunt, hunting reconnection. The brewery? It's fermentation medicine. Saxon cellar, barley, hops, wild yeast from the garden. Small batches, nothing rushed. Each bottle a prayer. Earth care in the grain, people care in the sharing, fair share in the surplus. Distillery next, fruit from the land, copper still whispering secrets. Plum, raspberry, elderberry gin, apple brandy. Medicine. Turning abundance into spirit. Hunting again? Maybe. Bow season, quiet stalk, providing clean meat for the table. But the real arrow now is patience, small and slow. The legal path continues, fighting for Frida, holding the boundary. The Earthway path continues, brewing, planting, sitting. Love continues, for Frida, for the soil, for the 7 generations we'll never meet. The soil keeps regenerating. We hunt by becoming the hunted, by letting the land hunt us back into wholeness. One hell of a ride.
Kevin, man, that really is one hell of a ride. Appreciate you coming on and laying all this out for us. If you guys want more, theearthway.com, his Substack, all the links are down below. Stay safe out there, everybody, and maybe go sit in the dirt for a minute. See what happens.